Okay, students, if you're having troubles with some of your trig word problems, the harder word problems that might involve two triangles, I'm going to walk you through a couple. This is number 4 on your worksheet, so if you want to follow along, I'm on number 4. And you've got two boats lying in a straight line with the base of the lighthouse. So I've got two boats on there from the top of the lighthouse 21 meters above water level. That's the first thing I'm going to do is put my 21 meters on there. Let's go ahead, 21. Height of the lighthouse. Now we've got two different angles of depression. This is where you might have gotten a little confused. Angle of depression to the nearest boat is 53 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and draw that one in. Nearest boat. So I've got obviously a line to my boat. And the angle of depression, remember, is from that horizontal line in the sky down. So that's my 53 degrees. And you may prefer to say, hey, that's the same as the angle down there. And that's my 53 degrees. I have to apologize. I'm doing this on my iPad with my finger. I don't have a stylus, so if you're having troubles reading it, I apologize. Angle of depression to the furthest boat is 27 degrees. So right now I have one triangle in there. In a second here I'm going to have two triangles because now I've got to draw a line from here all the way to the second boat, and that smaller angle that I created is now 27 degrees. Which means that, of course, this angle down here, if I finish the triangle, is that same 27 degrees. So we are trying to find how far apart are the boats. So if I go ahead and put an X on here, my X would be actually right here, just the distance between the two boats. And the problem is, if we're looking at that, we've got this lovely triangle going on, but it's not a right triangle. If I'm just looking at the triangle, oops, right over there. And we established the other day that everything that we do has to be, whether we use trig or we use special right triangles or Pythagorean theorem, we need right triangles. So I am going to say that we need to be a little creative here, and we need to try to find right triangles that we can use. Oops, and I was hoping to move that. I don't think it's going to let me erase those red lines. Let's see if I can use my eraser tool here. Where'd my eraser go? There's my eraser. Yeah, it's not going to let me. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on the two right triangles that I have, assuming that this, of course, is a right angle over here where my lighthouse is. Let's hope it's standing up straight. And the first triangle that I have that I can use is this triangle right here. Lighthouse over 53 degrees. And if I use that triangle, I'm going to call this length right here A. Just the length from the lighthouse over to my first boat. Now, supposing I have the length of A, we know A plus X is going to equal that whole distance to the second boat. So if I find my second triangle there, again, lighthouse all the way over to the second boat, and using that 27 degree angle, I'm going to call that entire bottom length there B, just to have another variable. And now if you think about the lengths that I just labeled there, A plus X would equal B, but I'm trying to find X. I'm going to work backwards and say if I have B minus A, I can establish X just by subtracting. So your task now would be to find the length of A and the length of B. If you would like to stop the video or pause the video and you feel comfortable going ahead and doing that, by all means do so, and then you can check your answer at the end. Final answer should be about 25.4 meters. Okay? I'm going to go ahead and walk you through the entire thing. If you're still stuck, follow along. I'll redraw some triangles here. So the first triangle that I just said we're going to use is that green. Actually, let's start with the big triangle. Let's start with that big blue triangle. And I'm going to redraw it over here so you can see what's going on. I've got a 27 degree angle. I'm calling that bottom length B just to have a variable. And I've got 21 meters for the height. There's my right angle. So setting up an equation, I should have a tan equation. Tan 27 equal to 21 over B. And by now we should be okay putting that in the calculator. 21 divided by tan 27 when you solve that. And I'm getting, whoops, I'm getting an answer of 41.21 if I round to the hundredths place. So that would be part 1. Part 2 now, I'm going to take that green triangle that I highlighted. Green triangle, obviously a little smaller, 53-degree angle over here. I called that bottom length A, and of course we have the same 21 on the right angle on the left corner, and my equation's looking like this: tan 53 equals 21 over my A. Dividing on the calculator, when we solve that, we end up 21 divided by tan 53, giving me A is about equal to 15.82. Notice that I'm rounding to the hundredths place, even though it says in my directions round to the 10th of a meter. I'm going to go ahead and round to the hundredths place, subtract, and then round at the end, so I don't end up rounding too much along the way. Give myself a little bit more room here, and I wanted to find x, so recall that x is the difference between my two lengths, so x is going to be b minus a, and plugging in my b was 41.21 meters. Again, I apologize for my clumsy fingers here. 41.21, I think you can read that. My A is 15.82. Giving me a final answer, like I said, about 25.4 meters. Hopefully that made a little bit of sense. I would recommend you use the same kind of process on number 6 on your worksheet, the one with the 2 cars. So if you were stuck on that one, go ahead and try number 6 now.